You are watching No Filter with Debbie. These are my views and opinions. Welcome to No Filter with Debbie. I'm Debbie Schlussel, and you know what's driving me crazy? That they're still lying to you, lying to all of us about this woman that is a stabber. She is a would-be murderer. Now she's dead, thankfully. Ma'Khia Bryant. They are still lying about this. It is amazing that after all this information has come out, they refuse to face it. When I say they, I mean many sources in the mainstream media. I mean many famous figures in pop culture that have been tweeting about this. I mean a lot of forces in our society that unfortunately have far too much power. They're way too influential. So, first of all, let's look at the picture we showed you on yesterday's show that I think says it all about what was going on. You see that? Ma'Khia Bryant, or Ma'Khia Bryant is the woman in the black t-shirt with the knife in her hand as circled in this photo. The woman in the pink sweatsuit behind her, or the girl in the pink sweatsuit behind her, is her prospective victim. She lunged at her, and that's when she was shot. And by the way, she didn't just lunge at her and get shot. The officer told her to freeze at least 2 times, and she didn't stop. She would have killed this woman. She was a girl. These were both girls. She would have killed this girl. She was aiming for her gut. And we all know what would have happened. A stabbing in your gut, you don't need to be a medical doctor to know this. That's fatal, period. It just is. Now, that doesn't matter to people like LeBron James. LeBron James, the genius of our time, the know it all. He is everything according to the media. He's our savior. He is the smartest man on earth. He is the top Hollywood producer. He's the top philosopher. He knows everything, which, by the way, is belied by at least one video. Google LeBron James talking about the book that he's reading, the autobiography of Malcolm X, which he obviously hasn't read, doesn't know what he's talking about. Google that video. It's kind of funny watching him attempt to BS and how these reporters are just gushing over it, taking it in. Yes, LeBron, wow, how insightful. LeBron, you're the greatest. LeBron, tell us more, and no matter what you tell us, no matter what you say, we're going to gush over you and kiss your ear. LeBron, keep on doing it, LeBron. You're the best, the greatest, the savior of us all. That's what's going on with LeBron in that video, and pretty much everything he does. So, yesterday, he tweeted, actually yesterday evening, last night, he tweeted something about the police officer who is a hero. He saved the woman, the girl in the pink's life. Saved her life. He's a hero. Everything else you've heard is baloney. So take a look at what LeBron James tweeted. You're next. Hashtag accountability. Now, what does he mean by you're next? I think we all know this is a violent threat. Otherwise, why would he post his photo? This is the officer's photo. Why would you send that out? This is a violent threat. We all know this. And of course, nothing happened to LeBron. Now, if we would have done this, if I would have done this, if you would have done this, we would be kicked off Twitter forever. I mean, Donald Trump was kicked off Twitter allegedly for lying about the election. And they claim also that he incited violence or was going to. This guy is inciting violence and nothing happens to him. Why? Because he's from the left and he's attacking police. And Twitter agrees with that. They're from the left and they don't like police either. Even though, by the way, Twitter got its start related to the police, which looked that up. The guy who founded it, Jack Dorsey, was listening to police radio and he realized that they only say a certain number of words. They have a certain number of characters when they send out information. That's how he decided on Twitter with originally only 140 characters. So He owes everything, his billions, to the police. But Twitter hates the police like the rest of the tech media giants, like LeBron James, like the rest of the forces in America's pop culture, which is low culture, but unfortunately is very influential in America. And listen, American kids, they don't watch TV anymore. They don't listen to authority, except if it's their left wing professor or teacher brainwashing them. This is who they listen to. This guy, LeBron James, who calls himself King James and is a pretentious man child who hasn't a clue. Thinks he knows everything, but hasn't a clue. So that's his tweet. By the way, he deleted it. Now, if there was nothing wrong with it, why did he delete it? Well, he claims the reason he deleted it is that it was being used online on social media for hate. No, 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 no. It was being used to show that these kinds of people in America that are now our unelected leaders, people like this scumbag, he's a scumbag, LeBron James, that they are calling for violence against the police, violence against the people that protect them. Who do you think is maintaining security at his games, at the LA Laker games? Who do you think is doing that? It's the police. It's the police. Who do you think is maintaining traffic going in and out of his games? It's the police. And we have a picture we'll show you a little later on about more of what LeBron James does with the police. He's a hypocrite. He's a fraud. He's violent. He should have been banned. And there was a day and time when this would not happen. And I wrote this on a tweet. So check out my tweet from last night. There was a day and age not long ago, I would say probably about 5 to 10 years ago, when if you publicly threatened the life of a police officer, especially a hero who saved a black girl's life, your pro NBA team and league would fire and ban you forever. Those days are now long gone. See King LeBron. And then I put hashtag Ma'Khia Bryant. By the way, I got this retweeted by over 50 people. A lot of people like this because they know I'm right. There was a day and age, and it wasn't that long ago, he'd be fired. Not only would he be fired, he probably would have been criminally prosecuted, as you or I would had we done that. He should have been prosecuted over this. He should have been kicked off Twitter. He should have been fired by the Lakers. The NBA should have banned him forever. And also, all of his sponsors should have gotten rid of him forever. But you know what? Instead, they keep embracing him because they know it's not going to hurt their bottom line. Cha-ching. They know. They've done the calculations. I've told you this before. Just like Nike did the calculations on Colin Kaepernick. They do the calculations. They know that their desired market, the demo that they want, the demographic that is 18 to 44 and or younger, they want that demographic. They don't care about us. And the fact is that they are looking at that demo and seeing that these people are ignoramus woke. They are social justice warriors and not scholars in the least. They know nothing, but they're the most woke generation ever. And they want their dollars. So they've done a calculation. The NBA has decided this kind of thing can go on. Remember when Coach PJ Carlesimo was threatened by Allen Iverson, who tried to choke him? Do you remember that? He got away with that too. Now, he at least got some slaps on the wrist. LeBron James is getting nothing. This is now not only accepted, it is applauded. So there's that. Now, when we come back, we're going to show you a video of a very well-known figure in recent American pop culture history who even he, it is unbelievable, but even he denounces LeBron James and chastises him. And I can't even believe I agree with this person. It's maybe a sign of the apocalypse or hell freezing over. Maybe I saw a pig fly just now through the window in our studio. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha. The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness. During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark. Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close. Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars for just $39.99. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. This TV special offer is not available on Amazon. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-619-1091. That's 1-800-619-1091. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
Today's households have more digital devices than ever before. More links to family, business, education, and entertainment. Beck Communications spent over 10 years building North Dakota's fastest fiber optic internet service. Beck Lightband Internet, outpacing speeds in large cities nationwide. Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Almiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Almiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
This drug remains approved by the FDA.
If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So we're talking about the Ma'Khia Bryant shooting, which was absolutely justified and called for by the police officer. He is a hero. He saved another girl's life who was about to be killed. And LeBron James, predictably, is on the wrong side on this, just as he is on the wrong side of virtually everything. But he knows best because he's a genius. Proud high school graduate. And by the way, I'm not saying that if you only have a high school diploma that you're not smart. I know people with lots of graduate degrees who are not smart, and I know plenty of people who never went to college who are quite brilliant. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this guy is not educated. He's pretentious. He also, remember, was on the side of the Chi-Coms. He is a fraud, and he's a capitalist who pretends to be something different, which he is most certainly not. So a very famous figure in modern contemporary pop culture, he even thinks that this guy is wrong. And this is a sign of the apocalypse when even a not convicted criminal who is also a murderer says that you are wrong on this. I don't know, LeBron. Look in the mirror. Take a look.
Hey, Twitter world, it's me, yours truly. Tough morning, listening to all the criticism that LeBron James is getting. I'm a fan of LeBron. I admire the work that he's done, how he's helped his community and how he's helped his friends, and how he's been fighting all of these social issues, especially that of systemic racism in the legal system and with the police departments around our country. But you can't fight every battle, you know? You can't. You got to pick your battles. I mean, it's a war that must be fought, But sometimes you need to take your time and be a little more patient before you comment on some of these bad incidences that are happening with police departments. This one, LeBron should have waited. I'm a little upset with most of the media because they showed us edited versions of what took place with the girl with the knife. They made it sound as if this was another police officer overreacting and killing a young black American. Well, from what I saw when I saw the full tape, the police guy had no choice. He responded. We wish he could have pulled a taser. We wish he could have done it in another way. But in that instance, if he hadn't done what he did, it appeared to me if another young American would have had her life taken. And hey, I can't fault what he did. I wish it was different, but I can't fault it. But LeBron, keep fighting the fight. I think we all got to be a little more patient. I'm against defunding the police. I think you just got to redirect some of those funds to better training and maybe dealing with more psychological training. In any event, God bless. Wear your mask, get your shots. I'm just saying.
Yep, convicted criminal and two-time murderer O.J. Simpson. Even the juice says that LeBron had it wrong, that the media had it wrong, that they all rushed to judgment, that they didn't have the evidence. Hey, a broken clock is right twice a day, so I guess O.J. Simpson can be right once in a decade or so. Still not as accurate as a broken clock. But still, when even this guy is dunking on LeBron, is that a sign of the apocalypse impending upon us? Could be. I think maybe it is. All right, isn't it kind of, by the way, ironic that O.J. Simpson, who with all the mountainous evidence against him in his murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, two white people, that he got away with it, and he's a black man, and he's talking about systemic racism in our justice system. All right. So LeBron says, well, they're just playing. They're just playing. I think we have a gift for that. They're just playing. They're just playing. All right. So one of my Twitter followers who goes by the pop culture ominous name of Live Long and Prosper has a great response about LeBron. Take a look. The LeBron-Jared argument seems to be we should be able to stab each other without police interference. Absolutely. And Valerie Jarrett, he's talking about Valerie Jarrett, Barack Obama's longtime advisor. We showed you her tweet yesterday. He's got another tweet I also happen to agree with. So this has been characterized as a fight, but it really was not. And he makes a really great point. He says it was literally a second away. The knife was coming with force. It would have been a death blow, and it wasn't a fight. It was an attacker. Only the attacker was armed. That's absolutely true. This was not, just a knife fight. You know, like we said yesterday, Valerie Jarrett said, just a knife fight. Like Ilhan Omar said, 9/11 was just, some people did something. And the jihad on the King Soopers supermarket in Boulder was, he was just having a bad day, this jihadist who murdered 10 Americans. This is the attitude of these people on the left. They want to minimize everything. Murder, the most serious things, murder, a knife attack where murder was going to take place. They minimize it as nothing. But Donald Trump says anything, and he's a mass murderer, he's Hitler, he's kicked off Twitter and Facebook, he's caused riots and an insurrection, blah, blah, blah. It's just baloney. They are so over the top and so fraudulent and hypocritical. So there's that. All right, so I want you to take a look at this picture because LeBron James, who has called for defunding the police, called in his Twitter account for an attack on that police officer who was hero. Look at him. He's walking around with police protection. You know who's paying for that? We are. We're paying for that. You're paying for that. I'm paying for that. He gets police protection all while he calls for the police to be defunded defunded for everybody else, all the little people who are not billionaires, who can't afford private security, which he can well afford. He should be paying for his own private security. Why are there all those police officers? There are a couple of them behind him that you can't see, but I can see the outlines of two of their hats. This guy shouldn't be getting taxpayer-funded police protection. And by the way, every single police officer in this country, after he threatened the life of that officer, should be saying, hell no, I'm not protecting LeBron James ever again. Let him pay for his own security. That's what they should be doing. Now, we have a video of the woman that was saved by this police officer. Take a look.
Shoot a girl, and she ain't come at you with no life.
She came out at you with a knife earlier?
No, she just, that's what the police did.
That lady on the floor?
She came after me.
With a knife?
Yeah, so he got her.
See, she came after me with a knife. That's what that girl did to me. She came at me with a knife, so he got her. The police officer got her. That's what went on. All NBC News or ABC News or CBS or LeBron James or anybody else had to do was watch the police video, which we watched yesterday, and we got excerpts of it. We showed it to you, the portion of the attack. This was on there too. All they had to do was watch through it. It was like 20-something minutes. Is it that hard? You've got a major news operation. You can't go through it and find that video of the victim saying he saved my life because that girl had a knife and she was attacking me? It's not that hard. No, they just don't want to do it. Why? Because they have an agenda. And we'll show you some of that agenda on video after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-270-1219. That's 1-800-270-1219. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Billings, your host of The Right Side with Doug Billings on Beck News. We bring you high-profile guests, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive guests. Now, you're not going to see these guests in most of the mainstream media outlets. Another thing that I do here is give guests a platform to speak freely. You're not going to see me censor anybody. Please join us, won't you? Weeknights right here on Beck TV and online at beck.news. Cheers.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single-game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private. Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So if you're watching last night's newscasts on any of the big three, NBC, ABC, CBS, we don't count Fox because they're not considered the big three. They're like the number four. But if you were watching any of those three, then you would see by the way, Fox does not have a nightly newscast. You have to go to Fox News and watch whatever it is on there. We don't recommend that. But anyway, we don't recommend any of these major news networks either. NBC News reported on this. And as you watch this video, you have to keep in mind that just a few weeks ago, Lester Holt, the editor-in-chief and anchor of the NBC Nightly News, and one of the top executives, basically, at NBC News, because he has editorial control over what they do as part of being the anchor of NBC News and the face of it. He said just a few weeks ago that being objective reporters is overrated in journalism. He doesn't think journalists should show both sides. That basically he was saying that we have an agenda and we don't need to show the other side because sometimes the other side is nuts and we don't need to show it. And I think it's overrated to be objective. So basically he said we're activists. We're not journalists. We're not objective. We're not fair. He said that. And he said it was overrated to be objective and fair. So as you watch this was from last night's NBC News telecast. And you'll note that NBC News edited the phone call to 911 that was made by a neighbor in order for the police to come to stop this fight that would have been fatal for the woman in the pink sweatsuit that we showed you, the girl in the pink sweatsuit. They also never mentioned the knife. So take a look at this report.
Just before yesterday's verdict, a police officer shot and killed a 16-year-old black girl in Columbus, Ohio, saying she was threatening others with a knife. Police body cam video was quickly released. Our Kevin Tibbles has that story, and I need to caution you, the images are difficult to watch.
Police body cam video shows Ma'Khia Bryant's final moments when a Columbus, Ohio police officer responding to a call gets out of his car and seconds later fatally shoots the 16-year-old girl. Authorities say Bryant was threatening two other girls with a knife.
It's a tragedy. There's no other way to say it. It's a 16-year-old girl.
Officer Nicholas Reardon, who joined the force in December of 2019, was responding to a 911 call.
We need a police officer here now.
Video shows Reardon approaching a group of young people in this driveway.
What the video shows is the female with the knife attempting to stab the first female.
Reardon fires his weapon 4 times, striking Bryant. Officers are seen and heard performing CPR. Body camera footage shows a knife on the ground. The city released video from the incident within hours and launched an independent investigation.
We have to ask ourselves, what information did the officer have? What did he see? How much time did he have to assess the situation? And what would have happened if he had taken no action at all?
The Columbus mayor pushing for transparency during the investigation.
That investigation will help us determine whether or not there was a violation of any laws, policies, or procedures, and if there were, the officer will be held accountable.
Officer Reardon has been placed on administrative leave for the duration of the investigation. Meanwhile, tonight here in Columbus, civic leaders are calling for calm. Lester?
Okay, Kevin, thank you.
All right, so I was mistaken. I misspoke. What I meant to say was not that they don't mention the knife, because they do mention it a few times, was that they deliberately did not show the video portion that shows her with the knife attacking the other woman. They don't show that. They just say, oh, we see the knife on the ground. Oh, the police say there's a knife. But basically, they're implying that we have no proof there was a knife when it's on the video. We showed you the picture. And other networks actually did show that. Plus, they did not edit the phone call, which NBC edited it to change the narrative of the story. So first, take a look at ABC News. This is just a portion of what they showed. Take a look.
If these grown girls over here trying to fight us, trying to stop us, get here now.
Today, police releasing 911 calls and new body camera footage of the incident. Officer Nicholas Reardon stepping out of his vehicle, approaching multiple people in an altercation. It appears Ma'Khia Bryant in the black t-shirt and jeans swings a knife at the girl in pink. Officer Reardon then firing a burst of shots.
She had a knife. She just went at her.
See, they did not edit the phone call, which is basically a fraud. NBC committed a fraud. They edited the phone call to make you think something else was said and somebody else was doing the call. They did not do that. I got to give credit to ABC News, which usually lies, because not only did they not edit the phone call, they played what was actually said, but they highlighted the knife in her hand. So good job, ABC News. We have to congratulate media outlets when they do what they're supposed to do. That used to be, again, what they're supposed to do, but now we have to applaud it because they rarely do what they're supposed to do. Also, it's a twofer because CBS did what they're supposed to do also. Check this out.
Police say they were responding to a 911 call about someone who had a knife.
These grown girls over here trying to fight us, trying to stop us.
When Officer Reardon arrived, Bryant appears to be chasing one girl before threatening another. Slowed down, police say the video shows 16-year-old Bryant raising a knife. Officer Reardon repeatedly shouts, "Get down," and then he fires.
Get down!
See, they presented this objectively. They played, just like ABC News, the unedited phone call. They did not selectively edit and lie to people like NBC News did. They highlighted and zoomed in on the knife, just like ABC News did. Good. That's real journalism, which, again, rarely occurs from these media outlets, but they did it. So kudos to them. I'm glad. And my question is, what? LeBron James was totally media blind? He didn't watch any of these media reports before he openly called for violence against a police officer? You know what? I think he probably knew better and doesn't care. He's got an agenda. He wants to destroy America. He doesn't care if America's destroyed. He can afford his own security. He doesn't care if those police guards go away from him. He can afford his own. He can afford to live in a fortress. He's a billionaire. Think about it. A billionaire attacking and calling for violence against a working class cop. All because he's white, all because he's a cop. And you have to think about this cop's shot. That cop is a great shot. Under pressure in a highly stressful situation, with just a few seconds, he's saying, "Get down, get down." And he hits the target right on target. He could have missed. He could have hit the victim. But he's that good of a shot. He did the right thing. He saved the other woman's life. Now, when we have before we go to the break, we just have a couple of things. The ACLU of Ohio, just like LeBron James, also apparently missed the media reports. Take a look at what they sent out. This is the ACLU. Ma'Khia Bryant should still be alive today. The systems that allowed George Floyd to be murdered remain fully intact. Really? Did this guy sit on anybody's neck for 9.5 minutes? No. Moments after we celebrated a win for police accountability in Minneapolis, news broke that Columbus police murdered a 15-year-old black girl. She was 16 by most reports. Nobody really knows, including her family, which says a lot. Her name was Ma'Khia Bryant. Say her name. No. Don't say her name. And yes, Black Lives Matter. You know what? The other woman he saved, the other girl, was black, is black. So yeah, Black lives did matter to this police officer. They do. This ACLU is the American Criminals Lobbying Union. That's what it really stands for, not civil liberties. They stand for criminals and terrorists and nobody else. They do not care about your civil liberties, your safety, and your life, which is the ultimate civil right. They do not care. All right, when we come back, we'll show you more uninformed people. And also, it is amazing how some people think that a psychologist could have stopped this. We'll show you the idiocy. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Seniors, are you aware that you could pay less for your car insurance?
Seniors can save money on their car insurance.
You might save a little, you might save a lot.
Maybe hundreds of dollars a year.
You might save 5% a year, maybe 10%, 15%, or even more.
That's a lot of money. So call right now and find out just how much money you might be able to save.
1-800-699-0761. 1-800-699-0761.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing, because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty. You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more. Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
He once won a spelling bee in an ancient language that he did not speak. He is the only man to ever earn extra credit on an IQ exam. His academic degrees are considered legitimate spending currency in 22 nations, 2 principalities, and at Chick-fil-A restaurants in the United States and Western Canada.
I do not always engage with education programming, but when I do, it is the Dr. Duke Show.
Stay educated with the Dr. Duke Show, weekdays at 4 p.m. on Beck News.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So we are talking about the disinformation that is still going on about this killer, this promoting peace stabber. Because remember, her mother said yesterday that she promoted peace, Ma'Khia Bryant. So I want you to take a look at these minds of mush, these moronic students at Ohio State University. They took over a building. They staged a sit-in over Ma'Khia Bryant. Take a look. So those students taking over a building over a stabber, a would-be killer, they're morons. These are the future of America. And unfortunately, it does not look like there's too bright of a future if these students, these young adults who are really children in adult bodies and are completely immature, rush to judgment, don't care about the truth, if they are any example, America is in trouble. So good luck with that. All right, now, because everything is coming out about Ma'Khia Bryant and what really happened, how she had a knife in her hand, how she was going to stab this woman to death in not a fight, but an attack. She was the aggressor. The other person is trying to get back from her against the car. And people are putting out this story that, oh, she was so nice on TikTok. Take a look at this headline. So This is from The Hill. Ma'Khia Bryant's TikToks go viral as alternative to body cam footage. So, alternative? So, remember when Kellyanne Conway was attacked for talking about alternative facts, but these people want an alternative to what the camera shows that doesn't lie, which is that this angelic-looking woman from a TikTok video, this girl, is actually a killer with a knife who was trying to stab someone. And I wrote, I wonder, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, you should. Why not? I wonder if she has any stabbing TikToks. And maybe she does. Who knows? We have not researched it. I just don't really have any interest in watching the TikToks of a would-be murderer. Sorry, I just don't. Now, there are so many people who are saying, well, why didn't they shoot her legs? Why didn't they shoot her arms? Why didn't they tase her? Why didn't they have a psychologist to go talk to her? You saw the video. We showed it to you yesterday. You saw it again in some of those news reports. Do you think, given those seconds, the police officer just comes on the scene, there could have been a psychologist who's going to talk her down? No, the other woman would have been dead. So take a look at what somebody tweeted at me. All right, so below my response, if that's what happened, then it's not unlawful. We need mental health professionals to answer every call that police do. Law enforcement will never be trained to the same degree. I get it that all situations do not apply, but we won't know if lives can be saved that otherwise would not be. Now, would a psychologist be able to stop the knife? No. Thank God we didn't have a trained psychologist or trained mental health professional. Thank God we had trained law enforcement who are trained at accuracy in their shots. So I wrote hilarious. A woman lunges at another woman to stab her, and this delusional leftist thinks they had time to wait for a mental health professional to talk to Ma'Khia Bryant and convince her not to stab and kill. This is why America is a dying country. No common sense or logic. Exactly. This is not logical. Mental health professionals, and we have talked about this even as far back as the summer when this show began, when all those riots were happening and all these defund the police morons were tearing down America, as they still are, and burning America down. And they were all saying, no, we need to have this, this, and this. Remember, Breonna Taylor's family wanted psychological mental health professionals to accompany the police everywhere, and they wanted actually mental health professionals to go ahead of the police to some of these situations. Are you kidding me? They are just going to be in the way. They would not have stopped this. The other woman, the victim, would have been dead. Thank God there was just this officer. Thank God he was an accurate shot. That guy was phenomenal. Thank God we have people like him protecting this country in all the little cities and towns and municipalities. Thank God we don't have people like LeBron James running the show. But unfortunately, pop culture rules America. And these idiots who want mental health professionals and people like LeBron James who call for violence against police officers who are heroes and save lives, they are running the show to some extent through pop culture and the media. It's got to stop. We need to grow up. We need to have better heroes in this country. The hero is the officer, not LeBron James, the self-appointed king of America. We're not supposed to have kings here. Just saying. All right, so there's that. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, why didn't you aim at the arm? Why didn't you aim at the leg? Well, first of all, if he would have aimed at her arms or legs, probably he would have shot and killed by accident the other woman, the victim. Why? Because it's too small of a target. And you know what else? The police chief has more. Take a look.
Chief, one of the big questions that has been asked primarily on social media, and it may seem like a silly question that, shouldn't people already know, but this is a legitimate question that a lot of people are asking, is can an officer shoot the leg? Can they shoot somewhere that would not result in a fatal wound, right? So a lot of people have said, couldn't he have just shot her in the leg so she dropped? Couldn't he have shot her in the arm, something like that?
Right, one of the difficult things with that is when you're trying, we don't train to shoot the leg because That's a small target. We train to shoot center mass. What is available to stop that threat? There was a threat going on, a deadly force threat that was going on, so the officer is trained to shoot center mass, the largest part of a body that is available to them. When you try to start shooting legs or arms, rounds miss, and then they continue on, and there are people behind that could be in danger that are not committing anything. So we try and minimize any danger to anyone else if we have to use our firearm.
Exactly. That's why, to save lives. Again, if that officer would have aimed for her legs or her arms, the woman behind her, the girl behind her who was her victim, she was trying to kill, would be dead. She would be dead. That's what would have happened. And then we would be asking, well, why didn't the officer aim for the woman with the knife and aim for her body? Because that's exactly what he was doing. That's what he's supposed to do. Aim for the body. Thank God for that. He saved a life. He's a hero. All right, when we come back, we'll show you some other people involved in similar situations that maybe LeBron James, Valerie Jarrett, and the rest of these hypocrites, the ACLU and these students at OSU, some stories they need to take a look at that aren't the same as this story. Well, they are the same. They just involved different people and had different outcomes. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? After all, a visit to the dentist can easily cost $2,000 or more. Well, relax. The Carefree dental card is now available in your area. Call now and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree dental card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. Activate your card and you can start using it immediately. From exams and cleanings to more expensive procedures like crowns, dentures, even braces, they're all included with the Carefree dental card. Say you go to the dentist today without any card and your bill is, well, ouch. Wait a minute, let's try that again. You go to the dentist today and show your Carefree dental card, you save $525. The Carefree dental card is just $15.95 a month, so call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-416-5739 to receive your Carefree dental card information kit. 1-800-416-5739. Call now.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate dedicated connection Beck Fiber.
I can't say enough good things about these nano hearing aids.
Real people talking about nano hearing aids.
The hearing quality is great.
Until now, hearing aids used to be too expensive for the average person. Until nano. Call now and you'll get your nano hearing aids for only $297. You'll save $100. When you buy one hearing aid, Nano will give you a second hearing aid free. Call right now.
1-800-213-3815.
Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private. Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Elmiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Elmiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Elmiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So something similar happened in Cincinnati, and the police got there too late. And you know what happened? Somebody died. Take a look at this tweet. Cincinnati police say a 13-year-old girl has been charged with the murder in the stabbing death of another 13-year-old girl. So this happened in Cincinnati. And what happened was a 13-year-old named Janiyah Pate got in a fight with another 13-year-old girl named Nayara Givens. And guess what? Nayara Givens is now dead. Why? Because Janiyah Pate got even more mad, pulled out a pocket knife, and slashed her throat. Slashed Nayara Givens' throat. And the police came after and found her dead. She was unresponsive. She was rushed to the hospital. That's it. She's gone. Thank God this officer in Columbus got there before the officers in Cincinnati. This officer is a hero. LeBron James is the zero. He may have a lot of zeros after his name, but that's the only number he counts as for me, the zero. All right, so there's that. Now, Fathi Hamad. You probably never heard of this guy, Fathi Hamad. He is the senior Hamas leader. And Fathi Hamad has made a video about what he wants to do involving young boys and girls. So take a look at the tweets that, well, first of all, take a look at the video that we have of Fathi Hamad talking about what he's going to do.
عملنا مصنع جديد ان شاء الله تعالى للأحزمة مجهزين ان شاء الله تعالى في حالة دخولنا للسجن للسلك جاهزين اخواتنا كله جاهزات كلهن.
So we didn't show you the whole video, we only have a segment of it, but he also went on to say that this factory is built especially to have these explosive bomb vests for boys and girls, and he's going to send them over the border into Israel to kill Israeli families. So let's say a police officer sees one of these 13-year-old boys or girls with an explosive vest on, and they're going to blow up other people, innocent people. Let's say an officer shoots at one of them and kills them. Is that not allowed anymore because LeBron James is now calling for violence against people who do this? Unfortunately, not all kids are angels, and we need to face that fact. That's the country we're living in, and that's the world we're living in. That girl with the knife is no different than these Hamas terrorist kids. No different. No different. And the response should be no different than to an adult terrorist. Period. You have to stop them. The attackers must be stopped to save innocent lives, and that's what this officer did in Columbus, Ohio. Period. He should be applauded for that. So there's that. Now, I want you to take a look at this video from TikTok. This guy makes a great point about all of the white people who've been killed by the police. You don't hear about them. Take a look.
What is that supposed to mean? Like, what? The only difference between white and black people getting killed by police officers is coverage, specifically by the media. Because let's add a name to this situation. Tony Timpa. This man was killed the same exact way George Floyd was, all while being mocked by the police officers that did it. No one rioted over that. No one protested over that. No one wanted to scream that his life mattered and that he didn't need to die. Nope, this guy was just another white kid. Those officers were indicted, not charged. What about Daniel Shaver? You guys gonna talk about him yet? The guy who literally complied with officers and still got killed? The officer in this instance was fired, but unfortunately he wasn't charged with second-degree murder. What about Dylan Noble, a 19-year-old kid who was stopped by police officers under suspicion that he was intoxicated, which he was, but that's not relevant. Due to his intoxication, there was difficulty with compliance. The kid was shot 4 times. No officers were charged. They're not even fired. Because if you were trying to say that all white people get justice when they're killed unjustly by police officers, you're wrong. Y'all just don't care about white people.
See? Now, isn't what he's talking about systematic racism also? Great video. Amen, amen, amen. More, please. He did get one thing wrong. He said that those officers were indicted, not charged. There's really not much of a difference. If you get indicted for something, you may be charged later, or you may be prosecuted pursuant to an indictment. So that is really not a big deal, but everything else he said is 100% true and accurate. And that is the problem. The systematic racism is not what they're saying. There is systematic racism, I think, in the media, pop culture, and frankly, Black America. and white America, because everybody only gets upset, like he said, about blacks killed by police, not whites. Why is that? Why is that? Because we know that usually the police are justified. That's why. All right, so there's that. Now, on to something we really need to talk about, and that is Governor Burgum. So yesterday, Governor Burgum did what Kristi Noem did. He pulled a Kristi Noem. He vetoed the trans sports bill, and that is ridiculous. This is a winning issue. We have shown you the polls on this. The majority of Americans think it's unfair for a male by birth to compete against females in sports. And he said, well, you know, they have to take hormones for a year, take hormone blockers for a year, so it doesn't matter. Well, I'll tell you something. There have been many studies that a male who takes hormones for a year is still stronger, or hormone blockers is still stronger than a female. This is unfair, and this is a winning issue. Why is he vetoing it? Now, we told you that I believe the North Dakota Senate actually pulled the teeth out of this bill, which was a great bill when it was introduced by our friend Ben Koppelman, the state representative. We had him on our show to talk about this bill. He is a great legislator, brings up a lot of great ideas, and pursues them. He is a down-the-line conservative, and he's very bright up here. I'm just saying this is a guy to watch. But unfortunately, Governor Burgum is a guy not to watch because he does the wrong thing. And apparently, he just wants Republicans to continue to be losers. He's too concerned with us competing with the woke crowd. And you know what? The woke crowd is always going to win. Now, they're always going to win at the woke game. Because you know what? You take a fake woke versus a real woke, people are going to pick the real woke. All right, now, today is the 17th anniversary of the death of the football player Pat Tillman, who heroically left the NFL to fight for our country in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he was killed, I believe, in Iraq. Take a look at my tweet to the NFL, because the NFL is riding this all the way. So 17 years ago, we lost Pat Tillman, and I said, don't you just love how the NFL, which is endorsing the burning, looting, destruction, and hatred of America, is trying to jump on the patriotism bandwagon using the body of Pat Tillman. He dumped the NFL to help America. Got it? The NFL is not patriotic. This is branding by them. We all know they sanctioned kneeling before the flag. They are not patriotic. Remember, things are not always as they seem. We'll see you tomorrow, and rest in peace, Pat Tillman.